one of my favorite yammers that just happens to be with one of my favorite people who happens to be my bandmate and my friend and my eldest kiddo, Abigail. Hope you enjoy. Hello, it's me. I'm now live, so I have to send a note to Abby to let her know that I'm live, and then we can kind of get the whole thing going. I'm gonna undo my... Yesterday we found out that was a bit of a pain, so that should be better now. I had a little of the awkward things. Where's my post? This is the annoying part where I have to like, come on. Alright. Copy link. Paste it into a chat window with Abby. And then paste it on my silly thing page, whatchamacallit. And I still don't see Abby. She'll be here shortly, I'm sure. Luann Marie is watching. Hello, Luann. And I think I see Cyrus, or I saw Cyrus. He poked in and poked out. You're here watching? Okay, just give it a sec, Abby. It'll eventually let me add you. Eventually. It takes a minute. Facebook's not the profound speed. Kim Ford is watching. Cyrus is watching. Jennifer DeRoche is watching. I hope I said that right, Jennifer. I think it's DeRoche. And create post. I can leave that there. Paste. Good. That part's done. So yeah, I'm just waiting for, not even waiting for Abby. I'm waiting for Facebook to figure out that Abby is there so I can say, yay, come on in. Hi, Luann. Facebook's funny that way. In the meantime, I'll just babble incessantly about nothing in particular. I had a very lazy day today. I did accomplish exactly nothing, which is quite nice. I slept a lot. I was over at a friend's house who, for the record, I'm one of their cohorts. They're a person that lives alone, so it's not like I was violating the rules or anything. Chris Holly's watching. Hey, Chris, long time no see, buddy. But yeah, I ended up being there till like 3 in the morning, so I came home old and haggard. Where is this? Whoa. There's a way to make the text suddenly go huge, and I did not know that before, but wow, that's neat. Abby, where... Still not letting me bring Abby on. Send you an invite. I did invite you, Abby. You are invited. And I still don't see in my list. This is the joy with Facebook, is it doesn't necessarily figure out that people are here. Maybe if I like reply to your comment and go, hey. Still hasn't figured it out. And I'm watching the... Nate Trash is watching. Everyone but Abby, Facebook figured out, is watching. So we're just waiting for Facebook to get its shit together. And then we can begin. Yeah, so I basically spent my day... I watched that movie Lucy on Netflix, which is a fun, mindless romp. And then I watched Bumblebee, because apparently I'm 6 years old and think transforming robots are pretty cool. And, that was pretty good. I can't complain. Tim, hey, Tim's watching. Still just in this waiting phase on Facebook to figure shit out. It's never been this long before. Just gonna message Abby and just ask if she's still in. Yeah, this is surprisingly awkward right now with the Facebook not doing it. Maybe Abby, like, leave and come back. I don't know. Christine's watching. Christine and I were in high school together. I had more hair, but I won't even say it was less wild, but it's certainly I'm bigger now. Okay, Abby has left the thing and is going to come back now. Hopefully that will make Facebook go, oh, Abby's there. This is the annoying part with Facebook Live if you're bringing somebody on to chat. So it is what it is. Oh, I don't have any beer. I should grab a beer while we're waiting. That's right. Beer is good. Yes. Still no Abby. However, they're typing in a chat window. Click on my comments. You may see an option to invite me. Nope, I don't. You should show up ultimately as a little person on the top. I've already invited you, so I can't re-invite you. And in theory, you either show up. There should be an option for you to like ask to come on camera, but there's also the normal way I do it is just me clicking the bring them on camera thing, and I can only do that when it says people are watching. So I think that's Amanda that just joined. I don't know. I see Abby now, and I can add you. Yay! 8 minutes of Facebook time. I'm so proud of you, Facebook. You're great.
I guess this is only going to work not on my proper setup that I have. Fuck. Let me get my real headphones. Damn it, I had a whole setup. I have a web camera and like good headphones and fuck. Oh wait, actually, I shall do the cool thing. I'll take this adapter and put it into the headset that Danny's letting me use.
Excellent.
Yay!
Hi, Danny. I don't know if he heard that or not, but
He did. He says hello.
Danny's awesome.
Okay.
You're doing some good camera work there, kiddo.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah, well. You go with
All
your
right,
skills,
can
right?
you can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. It's great.
Yay!
Yay.
Awesome.
All the technology is now in working mode. I don't know if you saw yesterday, I was chatting with Taylor, and like midway through, I did one of like the, and my Wi-Fi dropped.
No.
So I suddenly, like on my end, I got a thing that was like, we don't have really good Wi-Fi in here, and I was like, oh, for fuck. I just turned Wi-Fi
Lame.
off and back on. Yeah. This one isn't Facebook fault. This is clearly whoever is my provider. So what's going on, kiddo?
Lots, but not much, but lots, all the things. But firstly, Clam and Lucky.
Excellent. I got just regular old clink.
I missed the fuck out of you.
I missed the fuck out of you. I gotta say, I'm good at being a hermit. I'm good at taking one for the team and not going to band practice and not. But there are a handful of humans, yourself being the primary, that I just missed the fuck out of, and
thanks. Ditto.
This sucks as a result.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Like it could be worse. It could be, we could all have to be quarantining at Zuckerberg's house or something.
Exactly. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do a thing real quick because I remember has a battery and it sometimes doesn't like to charge easily.
That's
or
fair.
I watch too much Sailor Moon and that's blah blah blah.
I think we're all guilty of that sometimes. The old Sailor Moon.
I miss Amber too.
Yeah, fuck Amber. She is a hoot, and I hope she's doing well. I haven't heard from fuck Amber or fuck Kevin in fucking forever, but I'm sure they're great. You know, they're good people, and I'm sure they're looking out for each other and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you got your Danny back.
Yeah. It was hard, but he came back on Christmas Day, and it was very cute. Because he was like, we didn't have any symptoms, but COVID was a thing in our
Yep.
universe. So he isolated at a hotel just to keep me safe, and I didn't really have any symptoms. Sometimes like a fever-ish, like almost a fever, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, like, thank God I can work from home. But yeah, no, he surprised me on Christmas Day. I was watching the Magical
Porn.
Flute opera on YouTube. It was like live streamed, so for free. So awesome. And that one I love a lot. And then he turned on the Christmas music. It was good. I'm so good at words today. I need more liquids.
It's okay. There's plenty of liquids to be liquided.
Oh yes, I picked up a full case of Lucky before this.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it was very sweet. Completely surprised me, and he's so, mwah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
So far, I have avoided the specter of the COVID, which I'm very happy about. I don't actually, suppose that if I was to get it, I would become, ill or die or whatever. I'm a pretty healthy guy, but I don't want to find out that I was wrong, and I certainly don't want to make the people in my life that are maybe not quite so lucky as me sick.
Yeah.
Though I definitely would jump at the chance to make Seth sick. He's sitting right over there, just glaring at me like, "Fuck you, Dad."
You don't know anything about me.
Right? You don't know me.
Hello, sister and the stream.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Had a chat with Jake earlier, but I'm not going to bring that up on here. But
Excellent.
he's safe.
Good. That's the
He's
key.
a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried not to talk about that too terribly much because it's not my story to tell, really. But I have mentioned it, so don't make the worried face. Like it's a thing for those that are curious. My youngest son has run away, and will come back eventually when he's decided I am less awful than life on the streets. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a thing. It's ongoing. So you're working from home, and that's awesome.
Yeah. I missed my desk and my space heater and my blanket that I made myself, but other than that, I love my work people, but I'm so happy to be safe and not have to deal with transit. One of the last times I was on the train before going to work, I'm doing my steps, walking around Victoria Park Station just to like get some movement in before I get on the train. And some guy, he comes up and he's got a halfie and clearly is in a very bad way. And I'm like, okay, hey, guys, a lighter. And I'm like, okay, here, just here. And then his snot is like attached to the tip of the cigarette. And I did like, and his nose still, and I don't know how he lit it, but he did. And just have it, buddy. I'm done.
Yep. You just keep that.
Yeah. And I was wearing my brand new rhinestone mask. I'm like, I'm going to soil this.
Yep. I think I shall burn all of these things. That's amazing. Like I've had those encounters before where you just sort of walk away going like, how is that? What was that? I don't understand. Like I had a buddy in high school, and we went bicycling up to COP, and we had what was called a thirst buster. I don't know if they still exist. I don't think they do, but the great big 3-liter bottle of Coke. So we're drinking Coke and cycling, and somehow we had stopped in this little woody kind of area, and he started laughing, and he had Coke in his mouth, and snot came out of his nose, and it did that thing that like all 7-year-old kids get, where it like literally is like 2 inches from the ground and just hanging there, just like
Sweet
a drunk.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was. So of course I was relentlessly teasing him about that for the next several years. It's weird that we didn't keep in touch.
I wonder why.
I don't get it, right?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to play any trombone?
Not really. I've been able to sing here and there, but that's basically it. It sucks because everybody is home right now at the apartment, and I can feel the judgment, which is probably not legit, but it's annoying living in a shitty condo where people can scream as loud as they want and have parties, but the second somebody practices, shut the fuck up. What a
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was gonna do the thing and be like, you can always come play here, but fucking COVID, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So do you have a mute?
Um, Somewhere around here. I don't know where it went. Oh, I think it's at your place still.
I think you're right. I think it's in the basement.
Lame.
I would be more than happy to one of these days, social distance drop it off for you.
Okay.
Because would that help enough that you'd be able to practice?
Potentially. Yeah. I could even just Aaron gave me a bunch of buckets, so I could put a bucket on it and like see. Probably wouldn't do. Yeah, like Aaron worked at co-op downtown, and they're I forget if I'm allowed to say this or not, so I'm probably not going to, but they left the job for other reasons. So I got a bunch of buckets for random purposes, so I could just do that.
Okay. So my buddy Martin, also known as the Silver Fox of the Calgary metal scene, he wrote, "Drawing a blank, but why do I know this young lady's face? Old age sucks, but a face I never forget." And Jay answered with, "It's his daughter." I was gonna let you have the honor of sharing your prestigious lineage.
I just got that comment. Yep, probably that. Same hair. If you
Yep.
recognize him, you might recognize me. Maybe.
There's definitely a resemblance, which I'm sorry, you know.
Oh, how dare you. I was thinking about like, oh man, what would happen if I went on testosterone? Because if I do the whole trans thing, I don't think it's gonna be a thing, but like if I ever do, I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad.
And
I don't want to.
you can grow this beautiful handlebar mustache, or you can
I
go with
think
the Dick Van Dyke. What's that?
I think I'll not.
And you don't have to, but the choice would be yours.
Yeah. I wonder if I would get super curly hair too, because it's always been like pin straight.
I don't think testosterone is what does this.
I don't
Um,
know.
I think I angered an old god in a previous life, but you never know. I mean, there could be all kinds of reasonable explanations for why I have the horrible curly crazy hair. It's
Fair.
doing a neat thing right now where like I have this one piece that wants to be like the Superman curl. Yeah, but
It was
such
on
life.
Seth when he was 5.
Yeah. The little curl that came down when he was 5 was adorable. On me, it just looks like, oh my God, look, it's weird fat Superman. Luann says she's way prettier. Sorry, Jim. That's okay. I don't need to be pretty because I'm pretty special.
Thank you, Luann.
Yeah, I've been trying to practice, and I do the Facebook Live practice thing quite a bit, which is not about sharing my brilliant music. It's about sort of keeping myself accountable. But trumpet, I haven't really. I did a couple days ago, and it was all right, but I haven't been very rigorous on it. So when we return to form, Amigo Phantasma's horn section has some work to do.
Oh, yes. It will be fine. We've had long hiatuses before where people didn't show up to either practices.
Yep. Yep, that would be you.
Well, now it's specifically with Amigo, but hey, at least I don't have a laundry machine to go and fix.
That's true. It's his girlfriend's mom's, dad's, uncle's laundry machine. Yeah, that's the thing about being a band member is you finally really get to see just how annoying other human beings can be. And this is without even going on tour. If we go
Yeah.
on tour, we'll just have to murder all of them. That's kind of the tour role.
Mm-hmm. Your
Um,
communal sock.
no, that's I learned this lesson from Mark Russell. When you go on tour, you buy a giant thing of Woodward's or Woolco, or both those stores don't even exist anymore. Walmart socks. That's what I was looking for, and just plan on not having any at the end of the tour. But you always have a fresh pair of socks, and that's just how life goes. And I was like, that's actually kind of brilliant because yeah, like the longest tour I ever did was 4 days, and I got there. You know, we met up at the Beer Core House, and then we all drove in various vehicles. And I didn't realize that my bandmates did not bring money, food, or cigarettes. So,
Fuck.
so I provided all of these things for Bitch Kryptonite that tour, and it was super awesome. I was very happy to have that opportunity.
Neat.
Yeah.
No. Fuck. Oh, I would die.
Yeah, it's less than perfect.
Yeah.
When the opportunity presents, when the lockdown releases a little bit, I definitely want to have you come to the house, and we'll do some horn jamming, and
That would be wonderful.
yeah, maybe figure out. The other thing that we have to figure out is the vocal stuff.
Yeah.
Because my buddy Al Pujo also has hinted to me that he might be interested in coming along as well.
Yeah.
He's another trumpet player and all around musician, but he plays trumpet and was kind of keen on the idea. And I was sort of saying, like, because he had said maybe he'd sing, and I was like, well, Abby wants to sing, I'll probably sing. We can probably
I
all
am
sing.
more than happy with sharing.
Mhm.
I'm happy with singing like some bits, but I really want to have like a solidified at least two like a trombone and then a trumpet. I'm more than happy to like jump in wherever, but trombone.
Trombone is awesome. I could learn the trombone. I mean, I'm already figuring out the trumpet in its own right. I mean, I could probably figure out that, and then that way we've got like, if we did go that route with you, me, and Al, we'd have three horn players that could pick up. I could play trombone sometimes. I could play trumpet sometimes, and have that sparesies. So whoever's singing has someone on their or backing them up.
It would be really funny to have like on stage, oh, you get this instrument, you get this, you get okay, switching around the instruments when like we're not all going to die of the beer virus.
I was gonna say, like, as funny as that would be, I don't want to lick anyone's mouth, and that's basically what we would be doing. And
Yeah.
even if there wasn't a pandemic, I don't want to lick people's mouths. It's actually on my resume. Does
Yeah.
not lick other people's mouths well.
I get that. Oh, I get that.
Mhm.
Like when I was dating more, especially girls back before Danny and I were a thing, they just wanted like some reason they wanted to put their tongues in me, like in my face. I'm like, and like clearly did not shower or like brush their teeth or practice basic fucking hygiene.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like despite the fact that I have three teeth in my head, I keep very good care of my teeth. They've just, you know, they've fallen apart with time due to not having dental benefits. But like my mouth is clean, but I also smoke, and so I'm always very aware of the fact that if I'm kissing somebody and they're a non-smoker, they're getting a mouthful of horror. And I get that, and I totally understand that. But I've had a number of times where, girl come leaning in, and you're like, what the? Like, you can't react like that, but that's like, damn, maybe you should consider floss.
Yep. One of my male exes from my past, he shall not be named, Drywall McGee.
Oh, I know who we're talking about. Yes. Seth in the background.
I'm an
I don't
asshole.
I don't use floss. I just chew on the drywall.
I love him. He's a great person. and a great worker, but
He's not watching.
thank God.
Yeah, he was a waste. I don't even know. No, I met him a couple times. Yeah, but clearly not someone that inspired my love. I'm one of those people that like I'm pretty quick to judge character, not in a like "Oof, you're this or you're that, but just to sort of pick up on cues. And I'm always open to being wrong, especially when I'm meeting somebody and there's pressure, like the fact that I'm your dad. When someone meets me, there's a certain amount of like, oh, hello, Mr. Martin. I hope you're doing, and I get that, and so I'm not looking at like perform or I'm gonna hate you, but just everything about that person was like,
Oh, and that girl I brought over, she has no access to anything of mine online, but like the one who called me a trans piece of shit, essentially.
yeah.
I hope I get ducked for saying that somebody called me that, even though she's fine. Yeah, but she
you're
was like,
spreading
"Oh,
her hate.
I'm sorry."
I said, but you're spreading her hate.
Oh yeah. Well, that sounds like a issue, not an ish me. So
Exactly.
yeah, I brought her over to your house, and she's like, "I must go throw up in my car now. It was nice to meet you. Good the fuck bye." It
Yeah.
just like kind of left us there. You're a ride home. I guess we'll walk. Thanks,
Yeah.
bitch.
That and that's a thing I don't miss. As I've become older, and I would feign wiser, though that's probably not the case. But with age, you're less likely to encounter like the genuine loser schmucks, and B, you're you develop a certain capacity to pick up on these kinds of things. So, God knows I've made some bad choices with the dating, but they're less painful than when I was at your age.
Yeah,
In fact, younger, because at your age I was married and all that stuff. But
yeah,
Chase says
totally.
he'd pay for my dental recovery. Chase, I don't think you would, buddy. I'm fairly certain that it's going to be a giant amount of money, and it literally in less than a year, I no longer have support payments. Well, that's not entirely true, but they dramatically reduce.
Good.
And so I will have the money to fix my teeth. So after all the years of dealing with it and being embarrassed about it, pretty soon I'll be like, hello, gleam, gleam.
That's gonna be a weird day seeing you with like.
And I will not stop because I noticed a few years back how often I really don't move my lips very much, like my top lip, which is also a
Mhm.
normal thing for guys with mustaches. They forget that you can. So when you see a guy who's had a mustache for a long time and then they shave and they talk like this for a long time, you start to figure out that they can move their upper lip. But yeah, like I try and it's very unconscious, but I try not to, show off the dentistry, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, look at these beautiful teeth. I'm so gosh darn sexy. Gleam.
I
And
get that.
I'm gonna
When I
like
got my
gloss
braces
whiten them.
done, right? Sorry, when I got my braces done, and all the work that went into my mouth, like I would always kind of talk like this and never really smile.
Mhm.
I learned how to do ventriloquism a little bit. I'm not very
Yep.
good right now, but
I
I wouldn't
remember.
smile and I wouldn't sing because I was just so ashamed. And now I'm like, there's arugula in my teeth. Can you spot it? I smoke. Can you tell? Ah.
I totally get that. And I'm excited. Like I was saying, I want to Ross whiten my teeth, which I don't know if it's a reference you'll get. But on the TV show Friends,
Oh yeah,
uh,
I understand that show. I
yeah, okay.
understand the
The reference.
ding.
Yeah, and the black light is on and he's like shining. Good
That's
times,
the.
good times.
I'm not a huge fan of Friends because I am horrible, but I do get the reference, and that is quite funny.
How is not being a fan of Friends something that makes you horrible?
Oh, my ex-roommate.
Oh, well, yeah, like when this is an important life lesson I'm going to share with you right now. When a piece of shit says, you're a piece of shit. Either they're saying it like, hey, I know you, you're like me. Or they're just shit all around. And you can be like, fuck yourself.
Ross Ferguson Chase says.
No, it's although Ross Ferguson Day should be coming up sometime soon, where we all tag Ross a million times for things. That's a fun day for me. I remember the first time we did it. I saw him that night, and he's like, "My phone was just vibrating. It. I can't do the voice actually, but yeah, my phone was vibrating every 5 seconds. It was vibrating and vibrating, and I'm at work and I'm in meetings. I was like,
Turn your vibrate off. I would say, I would do a interpretation of him, but I'm allergic to kiwi.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because like I used to be really good at doing all the voices, and with Ross, the only thing I can say is heavy middle. I love heavy middle. I love the way it racks.
That was a good fucking pour.
That was.
Thank you, Tony J, for teaching me how to pour a beer.
The thing that I didn't know about pouring beer, because you know I grew up in the dumb world where you listen to your friends, and so I was told that you never want any head on your beer. And so I would always pour it and like, you know, do the slow pour on the side of the glass. And that's, you know, that is good, but you want some because that actually releases some of the gas. And if you don't release some of the gas, it all releases inside your belly. And so you burp more and fart more and you're just generally hard to be around.
Yep. Indeed. I also am just a naturally gassy creature. I would like to say it's genetics, but
It probably is.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I swing the phone over to Seth. Seth, is it genetic that Abby's gassy? Does she get that from me?
100%.
I get it from grandma.
Holy shit! No, you have no fucking idea. There have been bombs tested, like the SAR bomb that was tested in international waters. That did not have the same effect as this shitter does on the upstairs. Just fucking
Right?
no,
This
no,
is
no,
what
no,
I
no, 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 no.
This is what I put up with.
No. I swear, he ate like 29 cloves of garlic before he came home last night. Because he came home and went to bed, and I woke up this morning around 5 a.m., came upstairs to go for a smoke, and I just smelled hell.
And that's
Literally hell.
That's why I live alone, except for children who have no fucking option.
Yep. Excuse me. Oh, speaking of which, when things are safe, there's a new garlic restaurant on 4th Street near 17th Avenue.
Ooh, I would very much like to check that out.
Yes.
Your mom and I went. My parents took us once to the Garlic Clove, and we ate this meal. And I'm sure you've probably heard the stories about this, but we ate this amazing, super garlicky meal with garlic beer from Brew Brothers, and it was amazing. And we got home and we went to bed, and the reek of garlic, not just like the subtle joy of garlic, but the intense like hate waft of garlic eking out of our bodies. And then when we fucking farted, it would wake each other up. Like it was so horrifying. And the next day, like I went to work. Yeah, your mom, I think she was working or she was doing something, but she was out of the house all day. I got home at 5. I opened the door of the house, and it's still just like thick pallor of garlic hate in the air. Like,
Neat.
but the meal was so good. I would totally
I've always
do
wanted
that.
to go to that one. Like, I've heard about the garlic clove, and that sounds like my home, and I know that it would hurt, and I don't care.
It would hurt?
Oh, if I have too much garlic, it hurts, but in like the fun way, not the mushroom way, but
Good. Okay.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you were saying that you were having troubles with allergies and garlic or not, and then I would be like, you are not my child. Who the fuck are you?
I would be Grandma Martin's grandchild, not your child.
My mom has some digestive problems. Yeah. My favorite story about that. So to sort of, for those that are watching, to fill in the blanks, my mom, they said it was diverticulitis, and I don't buy that because diverticulitis lasts a little bit of time. But basically what diverticulitis is typically if you get like a seed or something and there's little pockets of as your bowels roll around in your guts, if a seed gets into one of those little pockets, it can essentially rot in there and become painful. And typically this lasts for a couple days. You have a mighty poop and away you go and you're better again. Sometimes they have to do far worse, including surgery. But my mom literally for like a year, they had her eating like nothing, like literally living on not just like, oh yeah, I eat vegetables, but like, eat green leafy vegetables and that's it. So she's living on lettuce for like an entire year, which is not all that healthy.
Arugula is a little too spicy for me. It hurts my tum.
Hurts my tum. I like the iceberg lettuce. It's got that juice. But so anyways, after they started to reintroduce food with her, and thing by thing, so it'd be like, okay, today we're going to reintroduce collard greens or whatever the fuck, and slowly getting more things. And the day that she was allowed to have soy, my dad had us over for dinner. It was your mom and I and my sister and her husband. And we're all over, and my dad made smokies, and then he made soy tofu dogs, whatever. And this is early in the evolution of tofu as a food replacement, and they were bad. So in solidarity, we ate one of these tofu dogs together, and we all sort of like pick it up and it's just quiet as we're all thinking like, how long before this melts, or like, what is it gonna do in my face? Because they were so weird. And my mom pipes up, she's like, that tastes just like a hot dog. And everyone's like trying not to say anything. And I was like, when was the last time you ate a hot dog? So we laughed and spat hot dog tofu goo all over the place. It was important. Yeah, she's had a rough go. From what I understand, she's not doing so great right now. Every time I talk to her, she is like a tank, and she's like, oh yeah, we're both great. We're both wonderful. No worries. But I also talk to my sister, and she's like, oh no, they're fucking falling apart, and their time is coming quick. So, brace yourself. Yeah, that will be a thing that we have to deal with. But you know what? They've lived long and good lives and stuff. Like, I feel bad about people who get sick and die when they're young. But like my folks, they haven't had a perfect life, but if my parents both were to die in their sleep tonight, they had a good run. And I'll of course be sad and I'll miss them and I love them with all my heart. But like, it's bound to happen. It's a thing.
Yeah. I'll call them sometimes. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're great. I just have some gut issues and Grandpa's doing okay, but Grandpa never really speaks.
Yeah. His Parkinson's is advancing, from what I understand. And my mom keeps falling and breaking body parts. Which for her is weird because like when I think she was 50 and they tested her bone density. And she had the bone density of an Olympic athlete. Like she's always been just a brick shithouse. Yeah. A very, very physically strong, healthy woman. And when they're looking at all her broken bones lately, they're like, yeah, you've got good bone density, but you keep falling. And I think what she heard in the beginning was, you're fine, you're going to be okay. And then I think that twisted in her mind to, but you keep falling and there's probably something wrong neurologically. And so she's walking with canes now, and she's like trying to be very cautious, which I get. I mean, how many times do you want to break a bone before you're like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore? This is stupid.
Yeah. Damn.
It is what it is, kiddo.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Like, they're the grandparents that I enjoy the most, if that makes any sense. I love Grandma Max and I love Grandpa Eeyore. And the other grandparents, I have maybe or maybe not said some horrible things to Grandma because she's horrible.
That is a thing.
Like, oh yeah, no, I keep breaking my bones. And that woman, like, she
Yep.
For
She's
context, I don't know how to words.
no, there aren't any. I remember she said one day to me that like she out of nowhere she sent me a message on Facebook and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in town and I thought we could maybe go for coffee." And I was like, "Why in the fuck would we do that? I divorced your daughter." Like I didn't say this, but I was like, "What the hell?" And I
Mhm.
didn't respond because I didn't know what I wanted to say and I didn't want to like be a jerk. But and I ended up talking to your mom and I was like, "So." And she's like, "Don't do it." She's in the stage of recovery where she's like going through her steps and um, she's gone back to the step of forgiving people. Sorry, not forgiving people, asking for forgiveness from people. But her asking for forgiveness is basically going to you and saying, like, I'm sorry that you were so fucking terrible and awful and hideous that I had to drink to just stomach the idea of even thinking about, like, just like total backhanded compliments. And I was like, yeah, I don't need that shit in my life. And
You know,
anyone else, I'd be like, oh, that doesn't sound right at all. But I know, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
This is for those that are wondering, this is not my mom. This is my ex-wife's mom, and she's fucking terrible.
Mm. I know, like, so I saw them with the boys about a year and a half, 2 years ago, before all of this. We went for sushi at Sushi Barbecue Inn, and she was just, sushi's good. And Grandpa's like, hey, you're really growing into your body, aren't you? I'm like,
Yeah, there's always been a real vibe there. Like, see, yeah,
yeah. He gave me $100 one time to like, you use this for a trip to Japan, Abigail. And I'm like, this is going towards food.
yeah. I fucking loved like when I was your age ish, and struggling to survive, struggling to pay rent, and people would do that. They'd be like, "Here's $50. I want you to do something nice for yourself." Yeah, having a fucking house is nice.
Yeah.
Eating is nice. Like it's great to say. And I did that with you regarding your phone bill for the month. I was like, you know what, Christmas, just you use that money for something. But I also fully know that that could very well go to groceries, and that's okay. Like
Yeah, I do appreciate. And it actually went to Bear Clan Patrol.
nice. That actually does just fine by me.
Yay!
I'm so happy with that I encountered the Bear Clan folks and have been able to do what little I do to share their work because they're so fucking cool.
Right? And they found a missing person this week. Well, they helped with their community. And if, by the way, if anybody knows where to get a cheap or like donated wheelchair, they are looking for some donations because there's a couple of people in this city who do need help with a wheelchair. And it's not just that one person. They are looking for multiple people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your sibling has arrived online saying hello, sibling and father. Hello, Emma,
Hello.
or Peach, as the case may be.
Okay, we gotta stop shit talking now.
I have yet to set up, but I will be setting up with Peach one of these chats as well, and we'll do the whole gabbing about whatever the fuck comes up, but haven't set it up yet because I'm lean.
Sweet. It will be fun.
I am implied to Seth and Alex that I want to do one with them also, but no takers thus far. But Emma actually asked. You what?
Yes.
You're a taker? Yeah, you're a taker, all right.
Not a receiver.
I'm a pitcher.
You're a pitcher? Pitcher of health.
You're a
Um,
weirdo.
yes, yes. So this is why I drink is I've got actually no, I'm kidding. He has been a fabulous young man the last little while, and I'm very proud dad because he's been like offering to do things that are helpful and all the things that you can make the stupid faces all you want. I appreciate you, you little shit. last night. The poor little guy was so tuckered out. So I had my yammer with Taylor, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this. You know, you're welcome to be around, or if you want, you can, like do whatever." So he went downstairs, and yeah, he was out cold. After the yammer, I had to run to Karina's to help out. Which again, for those that are watching, I am one of her 2 cohorts. There is a no violation of COVID protocols here. She is a single person living alone. Um, so I went to her house to give her a hand with some stuff, and I left Seth a couple cigarettes and sent him a text saying like, "Yeah, I left a couple smokes, cool." I didn't get back till 3:30 in the morning, something like that. Those 2 smokes were still sitting there, and I was like, "Yep, poor little guy was all tuckered out."
For justice, it was my friend Gus's 18th birthday party, and then out of nowhere at 6 o'clock, his parents were like, "We gotta go." So we started drinking at 5, and I was home by 7. So I was
Oof.
right at like the nearing the come point of drinking.
The come point?
You know, the climax.
How do you drink?
The climax.
The climax.
The come point.
Who's fucking 18? Oh, I come point. I hit the come point.
Oh, I got a story for Seth if he wants to hear it.
Oh, I'm listening.
He is listening.
All right, so when I moved here, I was very excited to be alone with Dad. Fuck you. But the first day, and it was like our first Father's Day that we got to like hang out together as humans, and we went out for sushi and then went to Distortion for this sideshow, and
Mhm.
I just sat there and I didn't know how to like do anything or be in a bar because it was my first time in a bar. 18 years old in Alberta after moving from Mormon and in BC where it's 19 to drink anywhere legally. So I remember at one point we're leaving and like, I just been kind of slamming drinks back all night. I'm like, I don't know how to drink as a human being. Fuck Savannah's and yes, the come point of drinking. That is great. Yeah, Savannah's, and I think my first legal drink was a Palm Bay.
Ooh.
I'm so mad. So mad.
No.
So mad. But we're leaving the bar, and I just absolutely fucked. And I'm like, we're going to the strip club now. Let's go to the strip club. Wee! And then I had my first hot dog in Calgary and passed out. There's no way are we going to the strip club.
No. Emma says, Abby, we all know you drank before 18, lol. And yes, she didn't imply that she'd never drank. She said the first legal drink.
Yeah, my first legal drink was a fucking local news beer with you.
Yep.
The first time I ever really drank, outside from like having a beer with you or a glass of wine with Grandma and Grandpa, I drank a pre-made rum and Coke that was in some sketchy water bottle that some guy I had met on the internet was like, hey, would you like to come drink in the park alone? And I thought that was a great idea. And then we hung out on the trampoline all night. And then I was wasted because he made them so strong. And I'm like, oh, he's a creepy, creepy man. What was it? So mom comes downstairs and I'm trying to like make eggs for some reason because I just really wanted eggs. And she comes downstairs. I'm like, oh fuck, and I'm texting you and I'm like, I'm drunk for the first time. What do I do? Abby, would you like to come to McDonald's with me? And it's 3 a.m. and I'm like, fish fillet. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that happens when you're drinking. Like, at no point in my life have I ever thought I should go to a gas station and get some sandwich.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm drinking and I'm walking home and there's a gas station, I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a fool not to eat the gas station sandwich.
No,
Yep.
For me, it's like the long walk home from drinking, and I just have to like I'll get off at Sunnyside and walk up the hill so I can get my cardio going and everything, and then I have to stare through the window at Subway and be like, do I want that? And then
That hill is so evil. There's been many a time where I'm coming home from Dickens or Vern's or like Boudoir Rouge, where I can't afford a cab. And I paid my tab in full, and I'm like, oops, I have 20 cents. Fuck. And you have to walk like up the hill, and like the river winds just kills you because it's always during winter when you do that, or at least when you can remember, and you're fucking dying walking up this hill up to Sate. I'm like, keys in my hand, there's going to be a crackhead who wants to fight me. It's not the case, but
Yeah, but there is that, and it's such a pretty walk by day. By night, there's so many trees that, you know, it feels sketchy, even though like I've never heard of anything bad happening in that spot. It just feels like, you know, there's probably some primal part of our brain that's like, you're now walking through the woods. There are cougars and possibly meth addicts.
shy a surprise.
I remember one time I'm walking through like 10th Street, and I saw the like Senator Patrick Burns Memorial thing. So I'm walking through there up the pathways and everything. I see this bag moving, and I like approach it, trying to walk like far to the right of it, and then this fucking skunk scurries the fuck out of there. And I look inside, and it's like 2 6-packs of just like really shit, like 777 beer. And I'm like, this is bad. Yoink. Walking home, I drank all 12. And
I don't understand that.
okay,
Like,
this was me at 16. This is not my brain now. I don't like the idea that I did this. I'm talking about me in the past tense.
and that's fine. But like when I lived here, the last time I lived here with Mikey and Lisa, Mikey Bastard one day comes up and he's like, check it out. I found a 6-pack of hobo beer. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he had a 6-pack of Boxer that had been stashed underneath one of our trees. And he just happened to be like, is that beer? And he grabbed it and he's like, do you think I should, you know, drink it? And I was like, well, no, it's Boxer. Not that it's like, you know, hobo beer, quote unquote. It's probably some teenage kids, you know, we'll steal this here for later. But it's Boxer. Like you're worth more, Mikey.
Yep. I was in the base, or so when we had that, like the homeless people were breaking into the building, and whatever, fine, that's fine. But we wanted to go and explore and see exactly where they were, just to like make sure that everyone was safe, because there's been a couple of overdoses in like the alleys this week, and like past couple months. So okay, we'll go and check, just see if everything's okay. There's a bag full of AGD, and part of me wanted to take it. I did not, because it's their beer. I'm not going to be that asshole. And it's AGD.
Well, even if it was like the finest of beers, my thinking on it is always like, clearly, so if you're finding a stashed thing of AGD, your likely culprits are either teenage kids or people who don't have a home to stash it in. And in my mind, like, I have no problem stealing a teenage kid's beer, but, you know, a homeless person like that's just not awesome. And I wouldn't want to do that.
I'd much more give them a beer and just whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy sitting outside of the liquor store in my apartment. He's like, hey man, can you buy me a beer? They won't let me in because I'm not going to wear a mask. And that happened a couple weeks ago. I'm like, nope. But if somebody really wants a beer, I might do it, depending on like my finances.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. But
yeah, and it's literally like, I think it is fair to say that a good deal of the reason why I have never lived on the streets is because I have been lucky, right? I have other things that are going on, but I have been lucky. Anyone can wind up in a bad situation and you know, with things happening and stuff. So it's really easy for me, as you know, I grew up around all the good white folk, and you know, I got an education, I've got a career. Like, it would be the easiest thing on earth for me to be a dick and be like, well, you know what, if you didn't want to be a lazy drunken bum, then you would blah, 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 blah.
have you considered buying a house instead of being homeless? Hello?
As a cure for homelessness, have you tried owning a home? Exactly, right? That ignorant, stupid, fucking honky thing that we all do.
Have we tried UBI or basic fucking help for people, or respecting that sometimes if you're in a nice place, people just don't want to live on the street. Like in Kelowna, I would get that. Or like somewhere where the weather is nice, where you don't have to like live by the rules. And like your sobriety does not mean that you are less of a candidate for having somewhere to sleep that's safe.
Yeah, exactly, right? This is the whole thing that I get so annoyed because everyone's blindly against things like UBI, right? The Universal Basic Income. And they're like, they'll bitch and moan about like, well, people shouldn't get money for free and blah, 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 blah. I know. So everyone now gets free money. And it's like, first off, no, not everyone gets free money. People who don't get enough money to survive get enough money to survive. And then they go, well, there's programs like AISH and whatnot. And
Good luck.
don't even come at me with AISH, because AISH pays so fucking little and is almost impossible at this point to get on, because conservative governments have consecutively just looked at that as a dog they can kick.
Yeah. Until this COVID stuff happened too. Who were the first people to cash COVID checks and like sign up? People that needed it, but a lot of people didn't need it and were found out to be lying and need to pay it back. And that's not like a, holy shit, this is a problem. It's, holy shit, maybe we should have UBI, because this $2,000 a month clearly helps if somebody's working a job, regardless or not.
Yeah. And like, for someone like me, I make more than $2,000 a month. I don't need that supplement. It's not going to come to me. They're not going to like hand me $2,000 and be like, oh, just piss this away, sir. That's not how it works. But if I'm trying to survive and I'm making sweet fuck all, and because like the gig economy where people are like they're struggling to survive doing 3 part-time jobs. I know that's not something you can relate to, Abby. Ha ha ha.
It was 4, motherfucker.
I know. But like that is a scenario where you're actually working someone to death, and it's cruel bullshit capitalism. And a universal basic income would prevent that, would allow you to, maybe you are working part-time, or maybe you're working 2 part-time jobs, or whatever the fuck you're doing, but you're not having to like juggle 4 different schedules in 4 different locations across a city just to be able to, hopefully keep the lights on this month. Like that's just bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I got really thin because both not being able to eat with pain and poor self-image, but what it boiled down to was finances. And then I finally got CERB, and I was able to survive for a little bit, and that was perfect. Like I saved, and then stuff happened, and I had some savings, and that was perfect. And then I got a job. I'm very lucky, very, very lucky. But like, holy shit, like I've never had stability in my life, and now like this is something that everybody needs, as somebody who's worked so much and has ruined their body in some places.
Yep, absolutely. Like, and that to me, that's the point of something like a universal basic income. Is it shouldn't be that people are suffering while employed, struggling and suffering to keep the lights on and the heat on, right? I mean, that's just fucking bullshit. The argument behind a minimum wage is that you should be able to survive, and now we're like, well, but should you? Is that really awesome that people can live? Maybe they should do something different, like you have rich parents. Did you try having rich parents?
No, I did not try that.
Yeah, turns out I didn't either.
Need a small loan of a fuck to give for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is these are programs that are intended for people who are either they're just starting out, or they're in rough places, or maybe they're like new Canadians or whatever. No one is like, okay, well, now I've got my universal basic income, I can stop working for forever. That's not the end result of these things.
Yeah. And if somebody can't work, then at least they have access to the funds that they need, rather than maybe, if they're very lucky, getting AISH in Alberta, because And at least the NDP is like looking forward to that plan of action, but when are they going to get in?
Yeah, this is the thing. I keep getting told by everybody that, oh, Jason Kenney shot himself in the foot this time, blah, 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 blah. We'll be back to an NDP party in no time.
No, we're not. Have you seen the South?
Yeah, two problems with that. Number one, Ralph Klein's legacy. What Ralph Klein was able to do every fucking time was he would cut the shit out of every social program there was and really ruin the province. And then like a year before election time, he'd suddenly be pumping money in, nowhere near as much. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's like a superhero that he did all these wonderful things. Like, fuck no.
And all of his friends are magically covered the entire year or the entire term.
Totally. And the other thing, so that really revolves around people's short-term memory being a thing. The other thing that conservatives do is they won't replace him as leader. They will suddenly replace him at the end of 4 years and be like, oh, yeah, conservatism is still good, but now we have Danny, crazy person, who's the new person that runs our country, or our province, so it'll be different. And people go, oh, thank God we got rid of Kenny because he was the problem and not conservatism.
Sorry? Yeah. Like 4 years, fix it, and then we go back to the same toxic relationship with conservatives.
Oh yeah, but they bought us something nice, so they're really sorry.
I got like the Alberta specific COVID fund was like $1,200 one time.
Yeah, did anybody get it?
I did. I was very lucky, but a lot of people didn't.
But if I'm not mistaken, the reason that you got it was because of the exact dates of when you were let go versus when COVID kicked in. It was like a 1 day overlap or something.
And so that's the reason I didn't qualify for CERB, because I got laid off on the 13th and then applied on the 14th, like you should for EI. And then they're like, hey guys, so the 15th is when you can do that if you applied for EI. I'm like, what? Yeah. You should have told us this before because
Yeah, that was a very weird time. And I remember there was a person that was in my universe, the person I'm talking about, Josie, who worked for CRA and really was very helpful in helping assuage fears and point you in the right directions to, this is what you need to know about and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like cheating because Canadians didn't know and no one knew. And frankly, she was mostly sure because it was a brand new, no time had been put into thinking this up. It was just like, fuck, we need to do something for the people. And thank fuck they did. And all this whole bullshit about people having to repay and stuff, personally, I would chalk it up if I was the leader of the country. I'd be like, okay, you know what? Some people got it that didn't deserve it, but I'm not going to fucking chase that.
Yeah.
If I found out that the guy who runs giant oil company got it, maybe I'd be after that. But some guy who was still working his minimum wage job and actually got extra money, fine, you fucking gamed the system. We designed it to be an easy process because we knew it was necessary, and we'd rather have people take advantage than have people not get the help they need.
Yeah. And I've heard so many times oh, well, an 18-year-old kid can get money still, but I can't. That's not an issue with the 18-year-old. It's an issue with the system.
Yeah. Vote better.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Trudeau, personally. I think he hasn't done awful, but I mean, he hasn't done anything amazing aside from CERB, which I think it is fair to say any of the leaders would have done a good job with something.
Yeah.
But it's really hard for me to want to give credit where credit's due there because he's a stuffed shirt, definitely don't want any of the conservative and the right-wing parties that are there. These days, I gotta say, Jagmeet Singh has been really just blowing my hair back, and I have hair to blow back.
Yeah, right. I love him, and he did a stream with the AOC. I can't name right now.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes. I didn't do enough Duolingo yet, but
it's okay. We can't all be as good as me.
Oh.
I was gonna say yo, but I couldn't think of the word.
But they did a stream on Among Us, which is a huge game right now, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" I go on Facebook Marketplace and, "Ooh, everyone's sus, haha!" Like, it's kind of cute, and I enjoy the game. But yeah, so they did a stream, and it was very. Sorry.
What does sus mean? Suspicious or suspect?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm old and I don't have my finger on the all the fleekest of words.
So
And
the premise of the game is you're in a spaceship with like 9 other people, and there's an imposter who goes around killing and being a huge detriment to the spacecraft, and you have to find out who it is before you get killed or before the killer wins.
Okay.
Yeah, so you say, "Oh, Orange is sus," and Orange Man is very sus.
Gotcha.
Cheeto.
Gotcha. Want to grab you and me a beer?
That sounds
Yeah,
great.
actually that's interesting because that's not a new game concept. Like that's a very old game concept. It was a game that I played when I was in high school in drama. We would do that as a fun way to kill some time. Sometimes you have the murderers in the room, and yeah, it was always a hoot. But thank you. But I think it's cool that I saw the fact that he was going to do that with AOC, and I was like, that's fucking badass. And it's also part of me was really excited because like I always feel like Canadian politicians, especially those that are not the prime minister, are always kind of like secondary in the world at large, right? I mean, we like to think we're very special, but we're kind of not. And Jugmeat is cool. What did you say?
Jugmeat's pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you said jug meat.
Oh no.
And I was like, are you being a dink?
No, the proper pronunciation is actually Jugmeat.
Is it jug meat?
Yeah.
I've been saying it wrong. That's the thing that drives me nuts. And I'll tell you the story. When I was a kid, my parents' church sponsored Vietnamese refugees.
Yeah.
And they called me Jim. And I didn't understand because I'd been raised in this honky utopian bullshit. I didn't understand that they weren't making fun of me. So I did not like these kids because I thought they were jerks. And it was only like years later that I realized the jerk was me. So I've always been, I try to be really anal about saying people's names correctly. And I have a guy that I work through now. He's one of the guys that runs the consulting firm I work for. But he's been a buddy of mine for forever. And his name is Shaheen. And that's how he refers to himself. And then I went to his house for dinner once and his mom was there and she was calling him Shine and sounding more like Shine. And I looked and pulled him aside and I was like, is that your name? Is that like a family thing or is that your name? He's like, no, that's how you say my name. I was like, fuck you, dude. I couldn't be saying it right the whole time. And now I don't say it right because no one does. And he's like, I don't know if he'd even recognize if a honky said to him, Shine. I think he'd be like, sorry, who? Oh, me, yes. But yeah, like that's a thing that I try to do because of my own terrible, stupid moment as a child.
Yeah. Sorry, quick thing. The guitar, I want to say, in the background, the art?
Yeah.
Who made that?
I'm not sure who made it, but it was a gift from Seth's friend X.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's correct, right? X. Yeah. X bought that. I think he saw it on like a vendor and was like, "Ooh, I want to get that for Seth and Jim," which I think is badass because he's a good kid.
Yeah.
For a youngster.
For a goddamn youngin'. God damn it.
In October, he'll be going to your shows. You know that.
Yeah, in October.
Yeah, that's not that far.
That's assuming that we're at a place where we can have shows in October, which if we keep having fun Christmas parties, we won't.
Yeah, turns out, we have the restrictions on, but the numbers aren't going down. That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, darndest thing.
Yeah.
But
I saw one person after being quarantined completely, and that was Aaron, because they're going to BC for a little bit, And I'm not going to see them for quite some time, but they've been safe and I've been safe, and I made sure specifically. And like, yeah, no, like I haven't seen anybody in over a month, and it sucks. Even like
Yep.
coworkers.
Yep. I am very happy that I am a cohort for somebody, which means that sometimes I can go to another house and be around another human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss you. I miss Clint. How do you miss Clint? But here I am.
I know, right? I'm like, I would do anything to go in the bar and just have a beer and a shot and hang out with Clint for the night. Because before all this went down again, like, I did that a few times and it was nice. And we'd chat about all the things. And oh my God, yeah, cool. Him and I are really getting along right now. And it makes me very happy.
Yep, it's good.
Yeah.
He's definitely like he's an important part of our world, and there are times when I am ready to murder him. But he's still Uncle Clint. Emma, I
Yeah.
see you said I miss y'all. I miss you too, but
I
I miss
miss
you
you,
in different ways because I've missed you for a lot longer than COVID.
Yeah.
Emma lives in Kelowna for those that are watching, and she is my second child and is one of the people that I genuinely am proud to call a friend and a family member. But the distance is challenging, so I very rarely make it up to Kelowna.
Yeah.
My folks are there. I haven't seen them in a year and a half, actually almost 2 years now. And I miss you, Emma, but I miss you because you live in stupid Kelowna.
I'm going to put you down for just a sec because I had some beer and my bladder is screaming. I'll be right back.
All right, you don't want to bring the phone with you? That's so weird. I do it all the time, but I don't do it when I'm live streaming.
You guys are going to have Danny for a minute.
Hello, I am Kiddo Abi. How are you?
How's it going, Danny?
Not too bad. Just taking it easy on my day off. You know how it is.
I do. How's school coming?
Much better on the third project. Second project, they pretty much told us, just be honest about how your group imploded and had to make a second fork to make a good-looking project, and did the best we could on that. But with the third project, we are now actually with like a group leader, and this guy's like all the way from Toronto. He knows a lot about React and stuff, so much smoother now.
Excellent. That's very, very good. Yeah, I found group work when I was in post-secondary to just be like, you know what, this is a thing I have to do, so I'll fucking do it, but I'm just gonna organize my life so that I don't rely on anybody, which was bad because you get into the business world and you have to work in group environments. But I learned eventually.
Definitely, yeah. And now that I've got like 2 months left on the project, now they're starting to push like, oh, you should come out to this networking event, see what kind of people you should meet. And like I'm just so done with group work that I'm like, I definitely don't want to. But like also if I want an actual job, which I'm interested in, like it's the game you have to play, right, Jim?
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know. I get invited to these awkward Christmas parties for consulting firms, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys should like come down and have beers on us. It'll be super fun." And I go, and like their idea of fun and my idea of fun are different. And it's literally like I'll be standing in a room full of people I've never met, going like, "I feel like a fucking idiot." And it doesn't help that I'm a giant scary mutant, and that if I just walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, how are you? What's going on?" They're like, "Ah." Which I get, that's fair.
Yeah, I definitely feel like in the business world, there's like that stereotype of like, hi, I'm this with this company, I'm like job title. Like, I think that's exactly why they try and set up like that jargon almost. Just be like, here's just a template, try and be less awkward using it, you're set to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're, because companies know that, happy workers are productive workers, and they want to fucking encourage that. And they want us to all know each other and love each other so that we don't want to leave and go to another company. But then, you go there and you're like, I fucking hate all these people. And yeah. and everyone's glad handing, and everyone's like, "Oh, tell me about what your role is. I'm really interested."
My
I used to
role
go to-
is I'm here for free beer. If you want to have
Yeah.
a conversation, let's do that. But like, it's not going to be the conversation you want to hear.
yeah, big time. I went to so many of these things, and I can fake it now, but I just don't. Like, I just don't go, because they're just soulless and awful. And then the people that I'm talking to, I'll be like, "So what do you do?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I'm a project manager." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. I mean, like, what do you do? Your life outside of work?" And they're like, "Outside
Yanni has literally had that conversation at shows with this guy Stetson. You know Stetson. But this also,
yeah.
like this other guy, Yanni, local musician and comedian, like improv actor, cool person all around. He's like, "What do you do?" "Oh, I do this, and I have an iPad I take everywhere." "What do you do? What do you fucking do? Who are you?" "Oh,
I'm not a person."
I like tying women up and saying mean things to them.
Well, that's a personality type, I guess. I'm an INFP. Yeah,
The FM instead.
I genuinely like. I find that shit so weird. The like, I went to my high school, my 10-year reunion, and it was literally like, I haven't seen people in 10 years, have not missed any of them. Well, that's not fair. I saw 2 friends of mine that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I was really excited to see. And I saw a couple that were like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about you, but oh my God, it's so nice to see you." And then the rest of them can fuck off and die.
Yeah.
And I had, like, people would walk up to me that I never spoke to in high school, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I remember you." And I'm like, "Do you?" More importantly, why did you punch me? You know, why did you give a shit about me? Because you didn't give a shit about me.
Yeah. I'm concerned.
And,
I kind of want to go to my 10-year reunion, which is coming up in a couple years, which is fucking weird to think about. But I'm like, just to show them that I'm cool. I will be the music for the show. "Oh my God, hey, you got cool. I was
Yep.
cool. You just like to hit me and like scream at me because I was bigger. You're so cool. How's your wife and meth addiction?"
Oh yes, the grand Kelowna grown-up process of, like, you graduate, you meet that special someone, and you get your meth addiction.
I mean, I was addicted to stimulants already, and then I met my special person, and I'm sober.
Oh.
And
Until I get my video.
Danny's all the stimulant you need.
Oh, you poor thing. I like this shirt. I really like this shirt.
Thank you.
Michael's, right?
That, you know, one of my favorite things about you, Danny, is how uncomfortable Abby and I can make you.
And on that lovely note, I'm gonna let you to have your conversation. Great seeing you all.
Good to see you, Danny.
You weren't on camera for that, don't worry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we weren't live, Danny.
Not at all.
It's fine. Oh my God. So we went to H Mart, which is a Korean market, yesterday. Oh my God. It's so good. Like, they have all the things that are my favorites. And we found this thing. It's like a almost penne size, but full rice cakes that you fry up or put in soups. And he made this thing called tabuki. So good. So good. Like with hot and sour and broccoli and sesame oil and seaweed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, though, tabuki sounds like it was made up.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I first heard the word kombucha, I was like, that's not a thing. You just threw a bunch of shitty letters together. It was like kombucha. Like,
Tabuki reminds me of like a Japanese animal, like a little raccoon, cute animal. I don't remember. It's like a something, and then kabuki theater.
Yeah.
And it's not even the right culture because I'm like an idiot.
But that's the thing. It sounds like kabuki, therefore it's clearly kabuki.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And I made like a good salad tonight, and his mom brought over like this pork and eggs that I gotta make you try, because his pork, it's like got the nice fatty bits and it falls apart, and that's what I was munching on earlier with some rice. And then the eggs flake apart. Like they're like
I don't know how I feel
hard-boiled
about
eggs
that.
that like it's really good.
Okay.
Like it's a
Hard-boiled.
full
Yeah,
texture.
hard-boiled I could see, but I was just in my head. I was imagining like a fried egg. You put your fork on it, and it just goes.
No, 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 no. No, it so good. And like an arugula salad with all the lovely things, and then beer for dessert.
Excellent.
Yes,
For me today was a very exhausted day, and I've been doing this a little too much lately, so I have to stop. But yeah, I just got Seth and I A&W burgers and Ben and Jerry's
Nice.
ice cream delivered, so
hell yeah.
that was good.
Because why not?
It's not like a wise decision, but literally neither one of us is like, I want to accomplish a thing. We were both just like, you know what? I'm like, I mostly just laid in bed and I was like napping on and off all day because that's what old people do. And, you know, I've clearly surpassed those years. And it was a necessary recharge. But the idea of like, I should do the dishes and then cook dinner. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that in the nose.
Oh, I get it. I did do the dishes, and I didn't really cook. I just chopped things up for salad, and it was great. And like
Yep.
microwaved the eggs and rice that we already had, but oh, perfect. We went for a walk earlier, and yesterday we went grocery shopping, and then I accidentally pounded back 7 nude sodas and fell asleep at like 8 o'clock. Woke up at 11:30. I'm like, fuck. This
That
is
is
what
the
it's like to
worst.
have 2 days off.
Yeah, that is the absolute worst when you do the super deep sleep and then you wake up and it's still bedtime and you're like, I'm ready for my day, pals.
Right? I went right back to bed at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and woke up at 11, which is fine, but uh
Yeah. Seth today, this was so sweet. So I'm sleeping and he's like, Dad, I'm like, what? And he's like, do you have to work today? And I giggled and I was like, no, it's Saturday. But it was sweet. Like, you know, he was very apologetic. And I was like, don't apologize. You were worried that you screwed up on what day it was or whatever. You were worried that I was, you know, missing work. That's nice of you to do.
mhm.
And I, you know, and it was like 9 o'clock in the morning or something. And, you know, I don't sleep that late, like ever. But it was because I was out till ridiculous o'clock last night cohorting.
Yes. Fair enough. Yeah, no, it's better than oh, hey father. I'm so sorry to wake you, but I was wondering if I could steal 1 or 2 cigarettes for my day.
Yes. Yes, that has been a thing in my life for a very long time.
Yep.
Not a fan of that.
Yep.
Father, wake up, I need nicotine.
Meow. Meow.
Totally.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, kiddo, I missed the fuck out of you, and
Miss you too.
I will gladly suffer through all of the COVID things, but you are one of the things that I am very much missing. I'm missing the companionship of your company, but also the awesome music we make. So
Ditto.
there will come a time, hopefully COVID will go away soon enough. Trump says by last April, so we should be okay. And then we will make more music together in both Amigo Phantasma and Dr. James Reddy.
That will be
Uh,
wonderful.
Yes, my
Plus, Sims keep saying he didn't say what year.
yeah, I didn't say what year. Yes, but I think it was in black. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just enjoying your company, poking Danny
Same.
with a stick, you know, all the things. But I'm gonna call it. It's 8:25. I've had you on the phone for an hour and 25 minutes, and it's time for this to come to its natural conclusion. So I love you. I miss you.
It's been a pleasure. I love you. I miss you muchly.
I will see you soon.
Yes. Ditto.
All right.
Love you.
Love
Bye,
you.
all the people who are watching. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.